ADHD is a disorder that is most often said to be genetic. It is also believed to be caused by prenatal, postnatal, and environmental factors. This disorder affects 3 to 7% of school-age children. Most children are diagnosed by the age of 7, however, onset can occur at any time. There are 3 types of ADHD, which include inattentive, hyperactive, and combined. In order for a child to be diagnosed with ADHD, that child must possess 6 of 9 factors that are associated with any specific type. Some of the common characteristics of ADHD include the inability to focus, fidgeting, hyperactivity, and impulsive behavior. I have had the opportunity to teach many students with ADHD over the years. I have learned that there are many modifications that can be made to maximize their learning and experience in an agriculture program. In the classroom, I make sure that the ADHD student is seated at the front to minimize distractions. If there are other distracting students, I try to seat them as far away from the ADHD student as possible. I also give ADHD students lots of small jobs that require them to get out of their seat in case they need a minute to stretch, move, or refocus when they get restless. I'll have them pass back or pass out papers, write on the board for me, and run the lights, screen, and projector during PowerPoint. I also try to maximize the use of hands-on activities in the classroom, even if the activities are short. Oftentimes, I will use items to do a quick demonstration to review the principles learned in class. My ADHD student will become my demonstrator so that the class sees and understands, but also so that the ADHD student is using the manipulatives directly, is out of their seat, and benefiting from the demonstration. For SAEs, the opportunities are endless. I've had many ADHD students succeed with large livestock SAEs or ag placement at local feed stores or veterinary clinics. The nature of the placement holds the child's interest and they are very successful. If the student's ADHD is severe, I would recommend showing small animals. The show lengths are shorter than that of large livestock, as is the time requirements of ownership. If showing animals is not of interest, the student could raise breeding rabbits or laying hens. They are still working with animals, but the show portion has been removed. Greenhouse projects would also be good since they encompass a variety of tasks that keep the student transitioning and interested. Students can use their agri-science fair project as an SAE or do things such as home landscaping projects. All of these non-show SAEs allow the student to work at their own pace, allow for group participation in many cases, and the student still receives the SAE experience. In FFA participation, one modification would be to have your ADHD student be in charge of things like the props, lights, projector, or anything else. They are participating in the meeting, required to pay attention, but also get to be out of their seat to alleviate restlessness. I would also encourage them to participate in meeting games, which enables them to interact with their peers positively, show spirit, and not be stuck in a chair. I would also encourage these students to be members of committees that are task-oriented, such as setup and cleanup, community service, and advertisement. Committee work would give these students responsibility and a chance to work in a group setting throughout the year. Committee work would allow them to feel pride for their involvement with the knowledge that their chapter counts on them. These are just a few modifications and suggestions to maximize the experience of an ag program for an ADHD student. As I continue to teach, I know that more will come to mind.